So hello and thank you for coming to my presentation. My name is Jevon Dangeli and I'm particularly grateful to all the conference organizers who made this possible. So let us begin because I have much more to present than what I can actually fit into the time that's available. Open awareness, holding the space for transformation in coaching, therapy and life. Some of the earliest conscious memories that I have are waking up after terrible nightmares. And after sweating and trembling, I felt as if my body had expanded and was filling the entire room. It was as if everything in my bedroom was inside my body. And after the terrible nightmare, this was a very good feeling. It felt safe. I felt comfortable again. And maybe it was age 8 or 9, these experiences went away. Until in my early 20s, I began to meditate. And in some meditations, that experience reoccurred. And then it had a different meaning to me. And I started to give it a meaning that for me was a sense of self-expansion in which my consciousness was no longer contained only within the room, but it went far beyond. Yet in my 20s, I still could not make sense of it, and I did not know anybody to speak to about the experience. And that's where the journey begins. And so since then, I've been trying to understand this phenomenon, and I've been exploring it through traveling and learning and discovering as much as I can about it. And many years later, I through my studies, began to provide coaching to clients. And quite unexpectedly, I started to discover that same phenomenon happening in coaching sessions, where I would feel the client inside me, and I was not able to have any conscious thought. There was only a sense of deep connection and flow with the client. And so in exploring this experience more fully, I have come to learn how to activate it, and I've also learned how to teach that to others so that they can activate it in themselves. And so I call this particular state and perception open awareness. And so in this presentation, I would like to share with you the characteristics of open awareness, the value of open awareness in coaching and therapy, holding the liminal space for transformation, the tunnel awareness issue, the game changer, and embodying open awareness, all in the next few minutes. So Viktor Frankl has been given the credit for this quote, but it wasn't him, who said that between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. That space is open awareness. And open awareness can be understood as flowing moments of pure experience, interconnected with the rest of reality. More specifically, it is found to be a mindful mode of perception accompanied by a calm and receptive state. It is an awareness of the mind itself and of somatic experience, thereby enhancing intuition. It reframes one's current experience of self, placing phenomena within one's awareness as opposed to these being experienced as separate from oneself. This in turn reduces distress and promotes a sense of interconnection with everyone and everything. And on that particular topic, I have done research, and I presented that research at the International Transpersonal Conference in Prague last year. And if you're interested, that's my research poster that you can have a look at afterwards. And while later on I will give a workshop on open awareness, teaching the Jumi way to establish open awareness, I think it would be fair to give you a micro experience of it so that while we discuss it, you know something about what it is. And so if you're open to having that experience, then I suggest you sit symmetrically, feet in front of you or crossed if you're sitting there, and up straight. If you're standing, that's entirely fine. And like most mindfulness-based exercises, we start just by clearing our neurology with a big breath in through the nose and a long, slow exhalation from the mouth. Now allow yourself to become aware of the entire volume of space that your whole body occupies. And as you become aware of the space that surrounds you, that cocoons you, you can notice not only how the body feels, but also how your awareness is also beyond the body and around the body. And that this awareness is not limited by a thin field around your body, but can expand to fill this entire room. So that everything you experience is experienced within your own awareness. What you feel, what you think, all sensory experiences, memories, and other phenomena is all within your awareness. And so too then is everybody else in this room within your awareness. And therefore we are all within each other's awareness. And just notice what you notice as you observe your experience of self from the perspective of this awareness. And then take a big breath in through your nose and release it slowly from your mouth. And you can keep that state as much as you'd like as I move on with the presentation. Open awareness involving mindfulness and bodyfulness enables one to relate but not lose identification with the self-concept and become aware of the more subtle levels of consciousness that are normally beyond our level of perception. So the value of open awareness in coaching and therapy at last. What we've found is that open awareness expands one's self-construct and worldview. Clients experience more wholeness, and they're able through that to disidentify from the presenting issue. Their broader insights become embodied. They are able to integrate awakened states into everyday life for growth, healing, and dealing with challenges more resourcefully. Coaches, therapists, and other helping practitioners are, through the use of open awareness, able to hold the liminal space. Here it is. Liminal relates to a transitional process or a position at or on both sides of a threshold. So all of that can serve as an antidote to its polar opposite, tunnel awareness. Now, I'm not going to point fingers at tunnel awareness and say it's the cause of all our problems, but every single one of my clients over the years, when describing their presenting issue that they bring to coaching, has described it in a way in which I have been able to discover that they are always narrowly fixated with their attention in the problem situation. They are in tunnel awareness when they are having any form of stress, anxiety, crisis of any kind. And so by helping these clients in the problem situation to open the aperture of their awareness, they have found a new level of resourcefulness and creativity to deal with the stressful situation that had never occurred to them before. But other than coaching and therapy, we all have a tunnel awareness problem. And so we live in a world that is technologically driven, and we become very reliant on these handy devices that are entraining awareness into a very narrow mode, and it's becoming very difficult for us to snap out of that to have an interhuman and transpersonal experience because of this entrainment. So open awareness is becoming important. A neuroscientist and psychiatrist in Germany, Manfred Spitzer, has done a lot of research on this subject. And he has told us that excessive use of mobile digital devices can potentially hardwire tunnel awareness in children and adults with detrimental consequences regarding health, education, performance, and relationships. I'm going to move along. There are many other problems associated with excessive use of digital devices, mainly because of the tunnel awareness that it's causing, not the content, not the Facebook, not the Twitter, it's this mode of attention that is becoming a key issue. So I think of open awareness as the game changer, from this game to another kind of game. If we are in sympathetic system arousal, when we are stressed, maybe we're experiencing fight, flight, freeze, or faint, we are in tunnel awareness. And through shifting from that narrow mode of perception into open awareness using any one of the variety of open awareness skills that are available. And I'm going to provide you with a handbook for free at the end of this session. You will be able to shift from that mode into an open mode of relaxed receptivity, responsiveness, and resourcefulness. I'm not saying you will be able to activate that as a permanent state, but as a useful skill to apply in difficult situations.
What do you mean by flight?
Fight or flight response. Flight is when you run away to escape the saber-toothed tiger that is attacking. But here's the good news. The light at the end of the tunnel is just an illusion. The key to undoing the illusion is what I have found to be the skill of reopening the aperture of awareness. And there are a variety of ways to do that. Many other practitioners will propose different methodologies, and they're all wonderful. I'm suggesting something that I call open awareness, which is a simple skill that even children, like my 7-year-old son, can learn and use. In the handbook that I'll be giving you a link to, you will be able to explore the open awareness hierarchy, which describes how it goes from being a simple, useful skill to being a spiritual practice that, when applied on a regular basis, can lead as far as, I theorize, the non-dual state. So I have developed over 20 years a particular practice that I call JUMI. It is an acronym for Judo Mind. And there's very little judo involved, but it respects the original philosophy of judo's founder, Jigoro Kano from Japan. And it involves more Qigong, Tai Chi, and yoga, along with certain visualizations, to activate open awareness. And this afternoon, starting at 4:30 or 5:10, I'm giving a JUMI workshop. So we're out of time. I'd like you to take a big breath in, let it all out, and keep the aperture of your awareness wide open and your feet firmly on the ground. Thank you very much.